MuseScore and layout. So this is my part 2 video of MuseScore layout. I'm doing layout in parts because it can get really confusing and get pretty intense. So besides me being an educator for 30 years and creating a lot of parts, arranging, composing, making sure my music program stays afloat by taking a piece of music and making it work. No exaggeration there. I'm grateful that I like doing this. I've also written a piano method book, and that's not a self-plug. That's me saying I have gone through a lot of hours. I just like to let people know where I've been and where I've had a lot of pain points, and I just want to help some other people. So with layout today, we are going to be looking at the staff spacer down, staff spacer up, and to be honest, I don't know where this one went. I think that one was a staff spacer fixed down. I don't know where it went. Could be a bug. I don't really use it. Maybe it got grumpy and left. So anyway, I did want to talk about the spacers a bit and then talk about the benefits of the vertical frame, talk about insert horizontal frame, and then also the insert text frame. They all act differently. All right, so when I think about the spacers, which I use, I think they're great. They're for fine tuning. When I download a score from MuseScore, it's interesting because sometimes I'll see dozens and dozens of spacers, and people are painting themselves in the corner and they're doing all this stuff. It's really not meant that. And if you go on MuseScore forums or Facebook or YouTube, a lot of people always wonder, how can I have a staff only move to this much and that? There's ways to do it, but MuseScore has worked where everything is anchored through the staff. So there is some independence involved. It does get tricky when we're adding lots of text. What I would like to show now is the basics. Let's go to staff spacer down. These you can go ahead and anchor to any staff in the music, which is great. So I have acoustic guitar, and then now this, I can push this down, and that should work. All right, now what I'm going to do is delete that, and when you do delete it, it will go back to its original state. Now I'm going to go to the second system here, measure 8. I'm going to go to the staff spacer up, and the behavior will be this. It is going to just go up to the extent of it's giving you space up there, but the staff needs to go down. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're getting space that way. And then let's say I want to make the piano lower, but everything else stay there. Maybe you have lyrics or what have you. You can go here and bring that down, but watch what happens. It all goes down, which could be tricky because you might have other instruments. So you're going to end up fine-tuning some like that. I think that's a little bit of a waste of time, especially if you have to do that in a lot of pages of music. There is another way. So what I use the spacers for is within systems, moving things for alignment for dynamic reasons or certain words and whatnot. So speaking of words, let's say you're doing a basic exercise or you want to add a title of something. We are now going to go to insert text frame. In text frame, you can anchor it anywhere at the top of the system. So there, you can't go in the other other staffs, excuse me. You can go up there and click it, and that would really be interesting because it'll move everything around. So I'm going to go back to measure 8, and this will pop up, okay? So now you can double click, and you can write what you want. You can center it, which is super helpful. You can change the font size, which I'll do. So I'll just double click. I'll put in 30 font, so that's really big. And it adjusted and no collisions yet. And this is like a whole lesson within itself. This is a cool feature, and I think this is, I didn't remember seeing this in MuseScore 3. I really like it. There's a lot of impressive things in here. But I don't want to get too excited about that because then I'll miss my point. So I'm going to go back to, by the way, that was like font of 99. All right, so I'm going to go to, let's go to 16. And you press enter, you get that. So that's centered. Can you move it around? Can you do this? You can, and that's really cool. It's anchored. So I love that. That's some freedom there. You can bring it up here, but I wouldn't recommend that because the weird things can happen. But let's say you have some text and some symbols, and you just need to move this system down a little bit. This is where we're going to go. Please, drum roll. We're going to go to insert vertical frame. We have some real estate, but when we go to insert vertical frame, this staff might get to the next page. We're not sure. We'll find out soon. But remember, you can only anchor the top of the staff. You can't anchor at the bottom of the staff, only the top. So that's the vertical frame approach. Now watch what happens. Not bad. So I can now click on that. See this? This helps you move things around. This is really cool. When you get used to it, it's fast. I don't like what I just did there, so I'm going to just do that again. I'm going to chuck it up there. And you can go ahead and move that down, and it will go to the next page. We'll be talking about that in part 3. I'm going to bring that up, and maybe this looks good. We'll leave it there for now. Now, some people want to say, hey, can you put, if you bring this, I'll bring a little more room. Could I put a vertical frame in that staff? Excuse me, in that, okay, take 2. Can I have a vertical frame here. Can I now put a text frame in that? I won't do it. It'll go underneath. See there? But we have some room. But what you can do is type, okay, and then you can go ahead and move this here. So there's a little now cat and mouse, because now you might, it depends what you're typing, you might want to try this approach, staff spacer up, but I guarantee you it's just going to push to the next page. This is where layout becomes a headache, because you want to move these measures, this staff, up closer. So how do you do it? I have no idea. No, just kidding. So what some people will do is they'll just go ahead and put the staff spacer. Everything will go up except for the bass clef. Or it actually, I was hoping it was just going to do that, but it went to another page too. So I did that, so it's not going up the way we want. So what do we do? Well, what I would suggest is go back to the original vertical frame that you put in there, and you're going to have to futz a little bit. And now it's moving up. And do you see how that vertical frame, this is the text frame too, that's going up. You can tell it's a text frame because it doesn't have the dot. If it has the dot, that's a handle where you can move stuff. So sometimes our brains get taught just to throw more stuff up there. Work with what you have. It does take patience and know-how, and every piece of music is different. And this is where AI is failing, isn't it? Because music is so complex. There's so many symbols, there are so many things. When I'm talking about music, I'm talking about like AI in regards to music notation and all that. There's algorithms, but really it takes a special eye and skill to know what you need to do. So I'm sorry about this staff spacer fixed down. I will throw that into part 3. And I'm also going to get into part 3 about staffs and changing positions and going into format and all that, because that can be a better use of time. When I speak about the lessons 2, I'm also going to talk about what I went through. Here's a possible solution. This might be able to help you, and just talk about some headaches. So hopefully this was helpful. I have fun doing this. I've really conquered a lot of layout features in MuseScore. There's always more to do. They're doing the best they can. It's very commendable. I would never complain because it's free, and definitely maybe support them by buying a sound software or something. I know Hal Leonard's getting involved with MuseScore now, so things are getting serious. Hal Leonard will probably own everyone someday. All right, I'm on a tangent here, but I hope this helps. Bye-bye.